Hello and welcome to the 2020 Rolex LPGA Celebration. Usually we would have gathered at the CME Group Tour Championship inside the ballroom in Naples to celebrate the end of the LPGA season. But like many things in life right now, this time it's a little bit different. The 2020 Rolex LPGA Celebration is brought to you virtually for the very first time. But we will still hear from players and recognize those who have been so deserving of praise from their efforts during last season's play. 2020 was a year that we will all never forget. When the LPGA began its 70th season in January of 2020, there was so much excitement. But very quickly, that excitement turned into a very different emotion. The LPGA was one of the first major sports leagues impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, cancelling 3 events in February before the entire sports world paused in March. For the LPGA, it would be a 166-day stoppage, and when play returned in August, life on tour was monumentally different. There was a bubble. There were COVID tests, there were no fans on site, and there were strict protocols to keep everyone safe. When the final putt dropped in Naples on December the 20th, the LPGA had staged a total of 18 tournaments, including 4 majors. 16 different champions had been crowned, 7,200 COVID tests had been administered, and a season that at one time looked impossible had turned into a remarkable achievement.
It's the first event of 33 in the 2020 LPGA Tour season.
Gabby Lopez is the champion of champions.
Sagstrom the victory and the tears of joy.
Hye Young Park becomes the 2020 Vic Open Women's Champion.
The ISPS Hander Australian Open champion. It's in big par.
We just wanted to take a minute to address our fans, our sponsors, our media partners, and of course our athletes. And I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. I know these are anxious times. I know you're frustrated. I know you're worried. I share all the same sentiments. And with all that said, we're on a break. I know you don't like the break. I know I don't like the break. In the meantime, take care of each other, take care of the ones you love, so that when this is over and we get this behind us, we can celebrate golf again the way it was meant to be celebrated.
The LPGA had to cancel some events, but in the spirit of the 13 women who founded this organization, they have put together a powerful remainder of 2020. Danielle Kang has won back-to-back in the LPGA restart. Read all about it. Mel Reid is an LPGA champion for the first time.
And Ali McDonald is a winner on the LPGA Tour.
From nowhere, Sophia Popov is a major champion.
Kim follows up her first major championship with her 12th career title.
It's funny, the year 2020 was my best year, which I think is quite a difficult thing to say given the circumstance in the world.
For me, the year 2020 was exciting and memorable, but also crazy at the same time.
I had the best year of my life on tour, playing really good golf and winning, and also being in lockdown and watching the world struggle was a big challenge. So definitely an emotional roller coaster.
What I had anticipated in the beginning of the year ended up really being completely different. But I think that in life itself, one has to keep a very open mind, and you have to be very flexible. And so that's what this year ended up being for me.
Despite all the things that are going on, in golf perspective for me, it has been very positive.
I was playing on the Symetra Tour, and I was hoping to regain my LPGA status for 2022, and of course it ended up being a lot different at the AIG Women's Open, so it changed all my plans for the better.
We kick off our celebration with a look back at one of the 3 Rolex first-time winners in 2020, Madelene Sagstrom.
Finishing second last year at Pure Silk, I could really see, okay, I'm good enough to play out here and potentially win. Then I've really worked on like freeing that potential and just being more free in my mind and just really enjoy what I'm doing.
This has been an absolutely incredible round of golf so far. She is 9 under par for the day.
11 birdies and a career best by 3. Right at it.
Well, I feel great. I mean, I'm just really proud of myself following up the 62 with a 67, so just wanted to let loose and just see what could happen. I definitely felt the pressure. I've never been in a situation like this before, so obviously it was all new to me. My entire mindset was just confidence in the fact of not trying to get defensive and just trying to stay positive and keep going.
Yeah, right at it and almost in.
Boy, give her a hand. That took so much courage.
Wow.
What a cut.
No! And Madelene Sagstrom has her first LPGA Tour title.
These last couple years is just so up and down, so I mean, I've really had to deal with my own emotions. I had already won in my head today. Not winning the tournament, but I had beaten my own demons, and just being up the leaderboard and putting myself in that situation was just a huge win for me. And then, I mean, this is just icing on the cake right here.
Well, Madelene, describe that moment on the 72nd hole at Boca Rio when you realized that you were the winner.
Well, I don't think I realized at first. I was kind of shocked. Looking back at it and all the videos, just mind blown, because I didn't realize what actually happened. I was so determined to make that last putt to give myself a chance to be in the playoff against NASA, but I sunk it, and unfortunate for me, unfortunate for her, she missed hers, and I just didn't realize what happened.
Describe your journey, because in 2016, you set records on the Symetra Tour, winning and money records, and then came out onto the tour, struggled a little bit, but then finally you broke through at the beginning of 2020. Describe that journey.
Well, obviously I was expecting different things coming out on the LPGA. I had a really good year 2016, kind of got hit in the face. My first tournament on the LPGA finished last in Bahamas, and I was like, okay, maybe this isn't as easy as I thought it would be. I think it took a time to kind of get established, figure out how do you travel out here. I mean, everybody's so good. You can't have an off week. You're not going to make the cut. So it took me some time. I'm comfortable now. I'm comfortable with my game, and just having that breakthrough moment this year was obviously huge, but I'm just excited to be out here and play in general.
You broke through as a Rolex first-time winner without your regular caddy. You had your boyfriend's father, Alan Clark, on the bag. How did that come about, and how did he help you win?
Well, Dave was supposed to be home for the week, and we kind of decided, a mutual decision, I'm just gonna take somebody else for the week, and then we're gonna start up in Australia together. And I just didn't really know what to do, and I was like, they were coming over for vacation. I was like, hey, do you want to work with me? And he actually never said yes. I'm still confused if he was going to do it, but we obviously had a great week, and it was just nice to spend some time with the family and just keep it within us and just having a good time.
We didn't know when you won what would happen for the rest of the year, and there ended up being a long break, and then the second half of the year when the tour returned after the COVID shutdown, no fans on site. Looking back now, how lucky do you feel to have won under normal circumstances?
Well, after everything shut down, I was like, wow, that was really a blessing that that happened right before, because I mean, I knew kind of my position, I knew what was going to happen, and it was really nice to kind of feel settled, but obviously I was on the top of my game, so all I wanted to do was keep playing. It was so nice to just get that win under my belt. I struggled coming back after all quarantine and when we didn't play, so I'm finally getting back into my game now, but I mean, 2020 has been a journey for everybody, and it's been a really great year for me and also a really tough year. So I'm kind of mixed emotions about it.
You were off to a terrific start over the first 2 days, and on Friday in Boca you shot 62. I mean, did you have a sense then that maybe this would be my week?
I've always had that kind of thought, like I'm not a player that can go low. I've been pretty steady shooting my 4-unders and stuff like that, but I've kind of had that, I felt that curse around myself, like I can never go low. And the second day out there, I just started making some putts, and I was like, okay, this is really fun. And eventually the hole just grew. It just became huge, and I realized I was 7 under through 9, and I was like, okay, either I have the decision to kind of back off and finish a 5 under, or I'm just going to keep pushing it and see what happens. And I really just trying to go into that momentum and see how low can I go? Can I break through some barriers here, both mentally and with my game? And I came out on the right side of things this time, and I was really happy to have that final, like the best performance of my career.
How has that week changed you as a golfer?
Well, playing on the LPGA is hard, and I think that just knowing that you can compete against the best players in the world just fuels you with confidence, knowing that all your hard work is being paid off somewhere. Because most of the time, we're gonna fail out here. We don't win every week, so that's the big part of golf. Most of the time, you're on the wrong side of the card. But just knowing that I can do it, I can play against the best players in the world, and I can come out as a winner was huge for me, both confident-wise and just believing in my game.
Well, Madeline, once again, congratulations on your win and becoming a Rolex first-time winner.
Thank you so much.
A few months after Madeline's victory, the world certainly looked different as the COVID-19 pandemic surged and sports were paused. Like so many people around the world, the LPGA players found themselves in a new situation, being at home for a lengthy period of time. But while competitive golf wasn't happening on tour, it was still very important for LPGA players to stay connected with their followers and fans.
My most memorable off-course moment in 2020 has to be after I won. Obviously with COVID, we tried to be sensible, but we managed to get a few drinks in to celebrate the win and drink out the trophy. That was pretty special.
Getting married to my wonderful husband, Charlie Ewing.
My most memorable moment off the golf course in 2020 was when I went back to Sweden after having been home in a year and just realizing how much I missed my family and how much they meant to me.
Being at home for more than 4 weeks at a time and being in the same place for months, that was really cool for me.
After I win the major tournament and I back to my country, so all my family were there in the airport to see me. So when I looking at them, I was like so emotional and so happy.
What does it mean to pause? For so many of us who rush from tour stop to tour stop, state to state, and country to country, the silver lining of 2020 was the time it gave us to pause for a moment and to reconnect with each other. In March, the world as we know it came to a halt.
We're on a break. I know you don't like the break. I know I don't like the break, but let's face it, we're on a break for all the right reasons.
As the coronavirus spread, the world paused. For 4 months, not a single shot was hit on the LPGA Tour. During that time, the tour and its players turned to social media to remain connected to each other and to their fans.
Hi guys, Sophia new here.
It's Charlie Ho here.
Thanks so much for all your questions and thanks for joining us on our Instagram Live.
From their homes around the world, they gave us all an inside look at their lives in quarantine. And while we were stuck at home too, players hopped on Twitter to entertain us. They showed us how to drink wine, danced to make us laugh, and sang quarantine tunes to make us smile.
I thought I looked like Jin Young-ko.
Golf's popularity soared. To keep the competitive juices flowing, the world's best players squared off in virtual matches from opposite sides of the world.
Good job. Nice play video.
The LPGA's best teachers hopped online to give virtual lessons during the lunch hour. And Kay Cockrell even showed us some yoga moves to relieve some of the anxiety we were feeling at home.
And this, to me, is the universal stretch of calming.
And the LPGA helped the world navigate the new normal in which we were living. They took their popular Leadership Summit series virtual.
Take it day by day. Things are changing.
But during those 4 months, there was always one group that was top of mind, the frontline workers who were putting themselves in harm's way, helping to save lives. And to them, we all say thank you.
We clap for you.
In the summer of 2020, important issues of racial inequality and social justice rose to the forefront in business, society, and sport. The LPGA, which has long led the way for women's opportunities in golf, expanded its focus on racial diversity. And like 70 years ago at the LPGA's founding, the players once again led the charge. Morgan Pressel, Tiffany Joe, Cheyenne Woods, and others organized a virtual race for unity to help raise funds to establish the first of its kind, Renee Powell Grant.
It really is amazing that through all the success of the Race for Unity events that we were able to create the Renee Powell Grant and really provide opportunities, access, give the gift of golf to young juniors and girls in Black communities. And that's the future of the game. So to really change the face of the future of the game, it was so necessary to create the Renee Powell Grant, and obviously named after Renee Powell, a legend in our sport, a pioneer. She's the perfect face for this initiative.
This is a start. You always have to start somewhere. It's great because I think that we will continue to see more and more young Black girls involved with golf. They will be able to see some of the other players that are on the tour currently, like Mariah Stackhouse and Cheyenne Woods and Shasta Aberhart. And I think they may not have known those names before, but certainly by getting involved with golf, getting involved with the LPGA USGA Girls Golf programs and with these grants, they certainly are going to start. And then they, I'm sure, will get some of their other friends involved. And this is something that's going to be ongoing. So I think that that's something that's great for our association, and certainly to have my name attached to it is pleasant.
We have to make sure that our daughters and sons have a better experience entering golf than we had. That's why we drive on. That's why we hope you'll join us at the LPGA USGA Girls Golf Program that is quite literally changing the face of the game and inviting more girls into this game than ever in the history of golf.
Renee Powell has certainly made a tremendous impact on the LPGA, and her contributions to the game have continued well beyond her playing days, including in her role as an LPGA professional. Our next award salutes the more than 1,800 LPGA teaching and club professionals and recognizes an individual who's made a major contribution to the teaching of golf while also showing a great dedication to students and the game itself. To present this year's Ellen Griffin Rolex Award, we have the privilege of hearing from a current Symetra Tour member, Shasta Aberhart.
The Ellen Griffin Rolex Award, instituted by the LPGA in 1989 to honor the late teaching professional Ellen Griffin, recognizes an individual, male or female, who made a major contribution to the teaching of golf and who emulates Ellen's spirit, love, and dedication to students, teachers, teaching skills, and the game of golf. Renee Powell, a member of the LPGA Professionals who was one of the only 8 Black women to ever play on the LPGA Tour, joins an elite group of her peers as a recipient of the 2020 Ellen Griffin Rolex Award. Along with being a trailblazer, Renee has a legacy of giving back to the game. She is currently the head professional at her family's Clearview Golf Club in East Canton, Ohio. In 2011, she founded Clearview Hope, Helping Our Patriots Everywhere, which is the sole year-round women's military rehabilitative golf program in the country. In 2020, 5 LPGA USGA girls golf sites in Powell's home state of Ohio received financial grants as a part of Renee Powell's grant to help create partnerships and outreach opportunities with youth organizations serving Black girls. Renee has paved the way for women like myself to achieve our dreams. She is the example of leadership, poise, and fortitude. I am so honored to announce the 2020 Alan Griffin Rolex Award winner, Renee Powell.
Renee, congratulations as the Ellen Griffin Rolex Award recipient for 2020. I know teaching has been an important part of your life. What does it mean to you to be honored with an award that is based on the teaching of the game?
For years, I was a player, and now for years, I've been a teacher, and to receive the Ellen Griffin Award for teaching is absolutely awesome. I am just so proud of the fact that this award is named for her, who was such a incredible teacher. It's pretty amazing. I've gone from playing, and I absolutely love teaching, and to be able to receive the highest award from the LPGA for teaching is pretty special to me.
It's not just the teaching of the game that you've had an impact on. You have halls of residence at the University of St. Andrews named in your honor. You have an honorary doctorate from the University of St. Andrews. What has been the impact of education and teaching on you as a person?
For my life to be centered around all of that, and to be centered around golf and the teaching of golf and the educating, especially youngsters in the game of golf, because it's also educating them, I think, in the game of life. For me, that has become something that has been extremely special for me. My dad was my instructor. He was my teacher, and listening to him and watching him, and the same principles that he taught were the same principles that Ellen Griffin taught. And it's what I really value my teaching skills on too.
Your father was such a great pioneer in the game, and obviously involved with the development of Clearview Golf Club, which is very much part of your life now. What other figures taught you lessons in your career and your life that stand out in your mind?
Gosh, I can remember in playing different things and different people that I met. I remember playing golf one time with Betsy Rawls, and Betsy just hit it terribly that day. But you know what? She never gave up, and she kept grinding, and she ended up 1 under par for that round. And I was like, wow. It looked like every time it looked like something was, she was going to mess up in a way or take an extra stroke. She didn't, because she just kept, it was the whole mental side of golf, I think, but continuing to grind and watching other people and talking to people like Kathy Whitworth and like Shirley Spork, who I've talked so much to in more recent years and recent days, and just learning from her. My dad always said that you just want to soak life up like a sponge. And so, I've really tried to do that, especially for those who came before me and are a little bit older, and somebody like a Shirley Spork, who, as I said, is one of our 2 founders of the LPGA that's still living. And I'm always trying to pick her brain and just listen and learn and talk about the teaching of the game. So that gives me, I think, a closer connection to this award and just to teaching in general.
And finally, what involvement do you have with teaching today, especially with introducing young people to the game and the impact that you're having with your work today?
I guess I love teaching everyone, but I think the one thing that I really enjoy doing is teaching youngsters, young people. Last year, I actually taught, I coached a high school golf team, and it was the same school that my dad went to in the town down the road from us, Minerva High School, whereas he, back in the 1930s, created the very first boys' high school golf team. And then I had an opportunity to coach the girls' golf team. So, I think I just enjoy seeing the youngsters and seeing them learn and really trying to sort of equate with them and for them, the parallel between the game of golf and the game of life.
Well, Renee, you never stop giving back to the game and helping young people. You are such a treasure and fully deserving of the Ellen Griffin Rolex Award. Thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Tom, for chatting with me about this. I enjoyed it.
A tremendous honor for Renee, and golf is so lucky to have her as an ambassador for the sport. Well, next up in the show is a look back at some of the memorable and light-hearted major moments of 2020. 4 major championships were held during the season, although they certainly looked a little different, didn't they? When the LPGA resumed its schedule in early August, the AIG Women's Open became the first major of the season, as the tour took its bubble to Scotland for 2 weeks. The ANA Inspiration was postponed from the springtime to September and delivered a different look in the desert. The KPMG Women's PGA provided an autumnal feel on the East Coast, as a Ronamink Golf Club just outside of Philadelphia hosted the KPMG Women's PGA. And for the first time in LPGA history, a major championship was contested in December, as the US Women's Open served as the penultimate event of the season in Houston. So let's take a look back now at the highlights from the 4 majors in 2020. Think about the majors in 2020 and not be drawn to Sophia Popov's victory at Royal Troon. And it is a great pleasure to be joined now by Sophia. Talk about this journey that you had just to get to the AIG Women's Open.
It was quite an unusual journey, unlike any other players probably that was teeing it up there that week. And, you know, it started with just a Symmetra Tour start to the season, to the restart, to caddying for my best friend Ann Van Dam, just having the greatest time that week, and it carried over into the next week at Marathon, where I could, you know, play some of the best golf I played all year and qualify for the AIG Women's Open, and just that excitement that came with that carried over into the Open, and I played the best golf I've ever played in my life that week. And yeah, it's just the excitement of those 3 or 4 weeks previous that helped me do that.
So when you arrived at Royal Troon, What were your goals? What were your expectations for the week?
From the beginning, it was more of a bonus week to me. I definitely didn't have that week in my schedule at the beginning of the year, and so the intentions were just to go there and have a great time. I saw my boyfriend after not seeing him for about 2 to 3 months due to COVID, and reuniting and decided to let's just go out there and have a great time, take in all the views, enjoy the course. We don't get to play at venues like that all the time, and it's just been a dream of mine. I love links golf, have always loved it. So I just went in there trying to have the best time I could and have that on every single shot, and it ended up working pretty well for me.
It certainly did. When you hold that final putt on the 72nd hole, it was a really special moment to watch. You had your boyfriend Max on the bag. Talk about the emotions you felt at that time.
Yeah, it was very emotional. Every time I think back on it, it gets me right back to that same spot. You don't dream it out any better than that. I think when we're young and we dream of winning, you want to have your whole family there, and it's this incredible thing that happens. And due to COVID, obviously I couldn't have the whole family there, but I could have Max there, and I couldn't have picked a better timing to have my game just come together and be able to win and in such an amazing place.
Yeah, you've battled some really tough times in your career, haven't you? Talk us through that journey to become a major champion.
For a long time, I didn't think I was ever going to have the energy and have my health be at a point where I could even play golf anymore. So I think that made it that much more special. Every time, probably 5-6 years ago, I even made it to the golf course, I was able to play 18 holes and finish my round, and not fall straight into bed was already an amazing achievement for me at the beginning of my Lyme disease. And now towards the end, or when my symptoms got a lot better, I knew, okay, I can play, but I just didn't think I could go that far and still be able to win a tournament, and at that, a major championship. So I think that's why the moment for me was that much more special, because I lost hope there for a couple of years, and I'm just glad I didn't in the end.
Yeah, it was a story of perseverance and an amazing win at Royal Troon. How has your life changed since you've become a major champion?
It's obviously changed quite dramatically. I think not just my golf life. My personal life is very much the same, and I intend to keep it that way. And I like to just be the same person that I was before. But I think, especially on the golf course, obviously you get recognized a lot more than before, and your weeks are a little bit more stressful. There's a lot more going on. I wasn't used to that before, and so I think everything changed in a positive way. I wouldn't want to have it any other way, but I definitely have a lot less free time now than I did before. But like I said, that's a great thing.
Yeah, it certainly is. Many people called your win the story of the year in golf. What was it like seeing some of those reactions?
Yeah, it means a lot. If when I think back, and to me it was just so, I think, a personal, intimate moment right after I won, where, all these things go through your head, and you're trying to realize it for yourself first before it becomes real to anyone else, because you think, did this just happen? Like, what is going on? And in the weeks that went by after, there was so much reaction on social media and everywhere on TV that I didn't even know it was that big of a thing. For me, I was just trying to celebrate the achievement that I had done for myself, and but it was great to see how many people were involved and who really cared, and I didn't even think anyone was, that many people were following it. For me, all I can hope is that it puts women's golf in the forefront a little, and does something to elevate our game and show that, we've got game.
Yeah, there's so much talent, isn't there, on the LPGA Tour, and for that week in Scotland, you were certainly the very best player on the LPGA. Congratulations, Sophia, the AIG Women's Open champion.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll just say that I didn't play so good, so my biggest major winning is Dustin winning the Masters. All right, I got it. Please ask the question.
My most memorable moment in a major this year was Obviously winning shot right the week before KPMG, feeling pretty good about myself, and making a triple bogey on the first hole was pretty memorable.
My most memorable major moment was at the 2020 AIG Women's Open when I got to lift the winner's trophy on Sunday afternoon.
Turning my game around at KPMG, that being able to put a score down when I'm not feeling my best, and just the last round at KPMG is something that I'm going to remember.
The final round of the British Open, where I carded a 67, I think it was, which was tied for the lowest round of the tournament.
My most memorable major tournament is KPMG. Because I won.
And I'm pleased now to be joined by a player who knows how to win major championships. 10-time major champion Annika Sorenstam, a member of the World Golf and LPGA Halls of Fame. And Annika, when you look at 2020 and those 4 major championships, how different do you think it was for players to compete in majors during the 2020 season?
There's no doubt it's been a tough year for many people in many ways. You know, got off to a normal start and then all of a sudden totally abrupt and no golf, especially for the ladies, for several months. You know, it's a tough thing for the players not to be playing and, you know, obviously dealing with something we really didn't know much about. I mean, the pandemic has hit a lot of people very hard, so it's been a sad year in that sense. But, you know, I was just very glad to see the LPGA get back on the course later in the year, and they were able to play a lot of the tournaments. So, you know, well done for them to be able to handle it through this COVID and follow those strict rules, and for the players to be able to adapt so nicely to all the rules and the regulation. It's not easy to keep, you know, you keep your eye on the ball and be focused going through this time. So it's been a very difficult year for many people, and hopefully we can put 2020 behind us and move forward.
Looking back at the majors in 2020, we had some special moments, didn't we? What stuck out in your mind?
Yeah, a lot of these moments obviously was from TV. Sitting at home watching, you know, some of the things that comes to mind is Miriam Lee chipping in twice in the end of the A&A Inspiration in Mission Hills. Then we have Se Young Kim winning the KPMG LPGA Championship. And then, of course, Sophia Popov winning the British Open, coming there and playing such a great round and then finish so strongly. So great champions, great championships, that bounce for a great future.
Well, looking forward, the Rolex Annika Major Award will return in 2021, and it's going to be an exciting major season, isn't it? You've obviously got Evian and Mission Hills, but also the LPGA is going to be playing at Carnoustie, at Atlanta Athletic Club, and at the Olympic Club just outside of San Francisco. So when you look ahead to 2021, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I think we're hoping for a better 2021, so we look forward to a great future. Look forward to the ladies getting back on tour and having some regular, you know, schedule. I think it's really exciting that the ladies get to play some historical courses. I think that really says a lot about the LPGA and the leadership, how they're getting to these courses, and these players are getting a chance to showcase their skills on these courses. It's really again a testament to the hard work, and you know, Rolex does such a wonderful job, and I look forward to being part of these majors this year in the sense of just following it, and hopefully we can crown a Rolex Annika Major Award this year, at the end of this year. But you know, it's been some great play from a lot of players, so looking forward to the same in 2021.
Well, Annika, thanks so much for being with us, and we look forward to the majors playing out in 2021 and seeing who the winner will be of the Rolex Annika Major Award.
Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate it.
Sophia's memorable win at Royal Troon is certainly a highlight of 2020. And another breakthrough victory came a couple of months later for England's Mel Reid. In her 4th season on the LPGA Tour, Mel became a Rolex first-time winner at the 2020 ShopRite LPGA Classic. So let's take a look back at her victory on the Jersey Shore.
I was pretty disappointed with the way I handled Portland, and I felt like it was kind of in my hands, really. Hopefully it was a little bit of a different outcome tomorrow.
About it.
Wow.
Walks it in. She's tied again for the lead.
Maybe just turning a little right.
Right in the heart.
People have been talking about, you know, my talent for a long time, but I've just never really got anywhere close to what I thought I would be. And then, you know, since I've worked with my psychologist, like, I think something has certainly shifted in my mindset.
Read all about it. Mel Reid is an LPGA champion for the first time. Got a few goosebumps. That's a special moment.
Like, you put in so many hours, so much sacrifice, so much hard work into this game, and just have one moment like this. So just so happy that I managed to get it done. And you know, I've kind of always said that I try and use my platform as a voice for what I believe in, and hopefully now, you know, it's an even bigger platform.
Mel, a Rolex first-time winner at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. In that final round, struggles very early, but then you had a great run in the middle of the final day. Was that the point that you thought, this is my day, this is the time I can get it finished?
I kind of had a couple of sloppy bogeys, I think, on 6 and 7, and then Desi, my caddy, kind of said something to me on the 8th tee. I don't know if I should really say it, but I'm going to, about the other girls that haven't won. I know obviously I haven't won on the LPGA, but I've won many times in Europe, and he just said, you know, they're scared of winning and we're not. And I think that was just the trigger that I needed. Hit a great drive on 8, birdied 8 and 9, and then 11 and 12. So yeah, I mean, I was relatively calm, honestly. I think that I'd been coming into some good form and had posted some good results the prior weeks, and so I was really determined to get it done because of what happened at Portland. I felt like I kind of handed that away a little bit, so just wanted to put it right.
You've achieved a lot in your career, 6 LET wins, the win on the LPGA Tour, Solheim Cup star. Where does the win at ShopRite rank for you?
It obviously ranks up there because I feel like people have been saying that I'm an overnight success for about 15 years, and it's tough. You know, I've gone through, you know, I know players have gone through struggles, but I've gone through probably more than most, you know, personally and professionally, and so it's tough to kind of have that grit and determination, you know, year after year after year. I don't think people realize how good these girls are out here, and the strength and depth every single year is getting stronger and stronger, and so it's tough to win out here, and when you do win out here, like, it's life-changing. And so yeah, I think that it's probably one of my greatest achievements, especially after the last couple seasons I wasn't too happy with, and then we made some changes, and you know, I got rewarded with that pretty quickly, and so it was just kind of confirmation for me that we were doing the right things, and yeah, it's honestly just life-changing.
You've said that people may have felt like you were an underachiever. Why was that the case, do you think?
I do feel like I'm a little bit of an underachiever, if I'm completely honest. You know, and I've said before, like, I'm not using my struggles as an excuse at all. Like, if anything, it's made me who I am today, but it's tough. It's tough to go through life with some of the struggles that I've gone through, and I just feel like I've got a bit more of a story than most people out here, and you know, I'm not discrediting that other girls don't struggle at all. I know they do, but you know, I've been through a lot in such a short kind of space of time. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, trying to do it at my own time, and you know, people out here, they come out and they have success early, a lot of players, and so I think that it was just nice as well to be 33 years old, get my first LPGA win, and I feel like now I'm almost starting my career again. Like, I've got new fire again, new drive, new hunger. And so that's why it was so huge for me as well.
What are some of the toughest moments that you've dealt with, do you think?
I mean, obviously losing my mum is by far the toughest. I think that I lost myself for a little bit, and you know, this game's tough enough as it is without having, you know, some personal struggles along the way. And so it's just tough. Life is difficult. You know, I'm pretty sensitive to that stuff. Like, I obviously care a lot about people and my family, and so yeah, I think that they're just the struggles that I've had, but it's the choices that I've made, that I've had to make to kind of progress my career and hopefully give myself the best chance at being the best at whatever it is that I can be.
On a personal level, do you feel settled now, and what difference does that make to you on the golf course?
Huge. I think I was unsettled for a long time, trying to find quick fixes all the time, whereas now I'm extremely happy with my team. Personal life, I'm extremely happy, probably the happiest I've ever been, and so that helps. Everybody around you being stable helps you to be stable.
You have this image as one of the most popular, fun-loving players on tour. Everybody...
I don't think everyone would say that.
Well, maybe not some players you played against in the Solheim Cup. But that's kind of the image that you portray. Is that the real you?
Yeah, for sure. It's really funny when people meet me for the first time, they're like, you're a golfer. Like, that's so They kind of see golfers as, you know, solo and, you know, very regimented. That's just not me. So I don't know, I do feel I am a little bit different. But I've tried to be the other way. I've tried to be regimented and, you know, strict, and it just doesn't work for me. I want people to look at me playing golf and I want them to take it up. That's kind of where I want my legacy to be left is, you know, I took up the game of golf because I watched Mel play and I thought she was cool, and that's kind of what I want to leave when I retire.
And finally, could you disclose how you celebrated the win?
Well, I think everyone knew. Obviously, we went to the pub. He did shut it down, just so everyone knows. So it was only us a lot in there. But yeah, I mean, there's no way I wasn't going to celebrate. I enjoy partying as it is. So it was nice to finally get a nice party in there with my team, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Des, my caddy, was in a way worse state than I was, so I was pretty sensible because we had KPMG the next week.
Well, Mel, congratulations once again as a Rolex first-time winner.
Thank you.
There are 2 LPGA honours that we are awarding during the show, and the first is the Vare Trophy, which is given to the player with the season's lowest scoring average. Joining us to present the Vare Trophy is LPGA Commissioner Mike Whan.
The Vare Trophy. You don't win this one with votes. You don't win this one with points. It's not about a great week or even a great month. This is about the lowest scoring average the entire season, and that's what Danielle Kang did in 2020. 60+% of her rounds were under par. Take a look at this trophy. Kathy Whitworth, Mickey Wright, Annika Sorenstam, Lorena Ochoa. That's where Danielle Kang put her name. Let's take a closer look at the 2020 Vare Trophy winner, Danielle Kang.
My main focus on every shot is execution and on how I'm going to hit the shot. I think the confidence that maybe people talk about is my ability to execute it, whether or not I've hit a missed shot the hole before. I don't let that affect the next shot, so I just got to stay focused. That's my main goal.
Quite the run here. 63 matches her career low.
Very well done.
They hit her 15th green in regulation. Number 4 in the world now, Judy.
Such a good shot, such a good player.
She played that really, really well. She had to be pinpoint accurate there.
Brilliant, brilliant.
A difficult bunker shot, hardly any green to work with, but she played it beautifully.
It's Danielle Kang, a winner for the 4th consecutive year.
Yeah, it's another one that goes in from that distance.
Danielle Kang has won back-to-back Inverness last Sunday, a come from behind today at Highland Meadows.
Danielle, congratulations, 2020 Vare Trophy winner. You've had a chance to look at some of the names on that trophy, and I'm sure there are ones that you recognize from many years ago. You are part of a group of the greatest players.
Yeah. One of the first things I thought was, oh, is this the trophy? And then I checked the back and it just has all these names and I went, wow, I'm one of them. That's really cool.
It's a mark of respect, I think, from the other players to put your name on that trophy.
Yeah.
Is that a true sense of what I'm getting from the Vare Trophy?
It's just, I don't know if it's a mark of respect. I think it's more so I want to make them proud and be a good Vare Trophy winner and good representative from here on out, because all those names on that trophy, you know, I respect so much and they brought so much to the game for the women's golf, and I just kind of want to make them proud.
It's been great to watch your career. I mean, you've had highs and lows, but you're on a high right now. How has this year changed for you? How have you managed to become the player that you were in 2020?
I think being able to keep my hope and take it day by day and do what I need to do and accomplish the daily goals that I set for myself with the people that can help me get to the ultimate goal that I want to get to has made me perform this year the way I wanted to. And this year has given me a lot of, like I said, hope in knowing what I can do, realizing that I also can do it, and that I had the opportunity to be able to accomplish certain things. That gives me a better tomorrow to be able to try and accomplish it again the following year.
You're a thinker on the golf course.
Yes.
You do a lot of preparation work. Can you share some of the behind-the-scenes work that you do to be able to perform the way you did in 2020?
I think learning about how I am on the golf course and off the golf course really helps me. Learning my own emotions and what causes them to harm me and benefit. Being aware of that is very hard, and I'm still not quite there yet, but preparing when I come to the golf course is very important to me on how I prepare. Now that I've got a little bit more leisure on how my schedule is, I don't really feel guilty about sleeping. So when I come to a tournament that I've been at for 8 years, I don't feel the need to get up at 6 a.m. to do an early practice round, how it's going to play in the morning. I've done the work. I just kind of take it easy and try to be prepared by Thursday instead of cram all the information in. And I think that's part of my routine now as well.
You were very close to your late father. He caddied for you, didn't he, in some of the big amateur events. And I know after he passed away, you would remember areas that he would watch you on the golf course, a
How
tree.
do you remember that? Wow. You remember that?
That's my
That's
job.
impressive.
Yeah, that's my job. But you would remember areas on the golf course where he would stand, and that would give you a sense of comfort. What do you think he would make of his daughter now and what you've achieved?
I can't answer that. I hope that he's really proud. I wish he was here. I guess talking about, being able to go to the ups and downs and all the accomplishments aren't supposed to make you happy, right? It's all temporary, but being able to be proud of yourself and how you accomplish something is something that I treasure. So for a while, no matter what I did, it didn't make me happy because the people that I love aren't here. I didn't just lose my dad, I lost my grandma, lost my grandpa. Finding what makes you proud and being happy with the work that you've done is the true happiness, and that's the pursuit of happiness. And I'm really proud of the work that I put in this year. So I hope that he's watching and that he's proud, because wherever I go, people remember him, and I think that makes me really happy.
I'm sure he is.
It's not just about whether after someone passes, even my mom as well, and I want to make her those memories that her daughter's out here and working really hard, and I want to make her happy memories, and that makes me happy. And she's so proud. No matter how bad I play, she's so proud. And having her by my side actually has been a great strength to me, because that's who I am. Like, people that surround me and people that I love, and having her around makes me feel that I want to do more. And I like doing things for people, and that is that's what makes me happy and my truest accomplishments. So, yeah.
Fantastic year, Danielle, culminating in one of the most important season-long trophies, the Vare Trophy. Well done, congratulations. This brings us to our third Rolex first-time winner of 2020. After the fall Asia swing was cancelled, the LPGA hosted a second LPGA Drive-On Championship, this time at Reynolds Lake Oconee. The community embraced the event, many watching from their boats on the lake as Ali Ewing recorded a win that she will never forget.
I feel like I've had the potential to win out here, and I've stayed patient, knowing that the work that I put in every single day is hopefully going to yield that win.
Wow, lovely.
Good line.
Very good line. Hitting the ball well.
She just has to kind of stay in the moment, stay on the routine. Don't get ahead of yourself. I think that's the key for anybody.
Better all day.
Yeah.
I'm definitely in a more comfortable position knowing that what I have and me is enough. So I think it's not shying away from it. It's kind of going and trusting what I know I can do.
Beautiful putt there. Nice putt for Anna McDonald.
After I made bogey on 13 and Danielle went back-to-back on birdies, I had to really gather myself and get my heart rate under control. I just told myself to calm down and control what I can.
And it's exactly what she needed. One hand on the trophy. And Ali McDonald is a winner on the LPGA Tour.
It's very fulfilling for me to finally get that victory. I'm just really grateful and blessed that I play on the LPGA Tour and able to do what I love to do every single day. And I'm just going to continue to soak it in and just enjoy this.
Congratulations, Ali, and thanks so much for being with us. You got that first win not too far away from your home in Mississippi. You're in the South, in Georgia, at the Drive On Championship, Reynolds Lake Oconee. What does it mean to you to become a Rolex first-time winner?
Yeah, it was super special. Being in Georgia, being somewhat close to home, being from Mississippi was pretty special. I mean, my first win coming from anywhere would have still been amazing, but being able to drive over from Mississippi, my parents being there and making the drive was just super special, and a tournament win coming in the South will forever be very memorable to me.
Of course, your parents were there, weren't they? We saw them in the coverage watching on. What did it mean to win in front of them?
Yeah, with COVID and no spectators, obviously having to pre-register guests to come out to tournaments, my parents being able to come to that tournament and me getting my first win was, we couldn't have drawn it up any better, obviously, but that was the only event they made it to all year, so I think they picked a pretty good one.
Yeah, they certainly did. It was great to see you win in front of them and also in front of some fans. Even though they weren't allowed on site, we had the folks that brought their boats onto the lake, and it was a really special atmosphere, wasn't it?
Yeah, with no spectators really at any of our events, the tournament made it really cool, and having the boats out and just the community support to the LPGA, finding ways to support us, being kind of a one-year event with the Drive On Championship, and having those people come out outside their residence on a boat, it just made the win pretty special, and just to see people supporting the LPGA during a pandemic was really cool.
Well, you've broken through. You've got that first win. You're a Rolex first-time winner. What do you take from the victory in Georgia moving forward in your career?
The amount of confidence that I had and I've had since I got the win. I remember in an interview after just saying that I never doubted my ability, but I definitely questioned whether or not I could get a win on the LPGA. I had built up so much expectation and so much drive to get a win on the LPGA. When I finally reached that, it just felt like the remainder of the tournaments that I've played since then have just felt so relaxed. I feel like I've had a load lifted, a weight off my shoulders, and I can just go play, and that trust in my ability and know that I've been there before if I get in that opportunity again to win another tournament, and just try to play my best every single tournament knowing that I've won.
And finally, Ali, what did it mean to you to capture that first win at the Drive On Championship, Reynolds Lake Oconee?
It was just one of those tournaments where you could just dig deep and realize that you're playing for more than we have sponsors, but the Drive On Championship was just so unique because we were supposed to be in Asia, and Kamish did a great job getting the event at a special place that I know his family cherishes. So I just think that it's great that we've got that campaign and that it's reaching a younger generation, hopefully, to pursue golf, but also just to, even those that don't play golf, just to remember to drive on in everything that they do.
Well, congratulations, Ali. You are now a Rolex first-time winner.
Thank you.
Well, this brings us to our final award of the show, and likely the most prestigious of them all, the Rolex Player of the Year. Joining us again to present this tremendous honor is LPGA Commissioner Mike Whan.
Here we are, the Rolex Player of the Year. This is the big one. This is the one that everybody wants to win. And you only win this with how you play all season long. And in a year like no other, 2020, we have a Rolex Player of the Year like no other. Se-Young Kim started the year with 2 top 10 finishes. Then we all took about a 7-month break. She came back and picked up right where she left off. 6 top 10 finishes for the year. Never finished outside the top 20 all season long, including 2 wins and her first major win at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Let's take a look at this year's Rolex Player of the Year, Se-Young Kim.
Could it be a birdie? Oh, another one goes in. This is terrific. Terrific golf.
There's the swagger.
She also has a tremendous flair for the dramatic.
She's gotten close, but hasn't quite closed the deal in a major. She did there, though.
She is seeing it and feeling it right now.
Stays aggressive, right at it. It's the way she plays.
And that's what makes her so exciting to watch.
63, and Se-Young Kim, who had accomplished everything but a major championship, is now a major champion.
Three straight birdies for Se-Young.
She's got almost a cockiness, not in an arrogant way, but she has command of her game, which I love watching.
Se-Young Kim follows up her first major championship with her 12th career title, the winner of the inaugural Pelican Women's Championship.
Congratulations, and we're proud to say you are our 2020 Rolex Player of the Year. Congratulations.
Se-Young Kim, congratulations, the 2020 Rolex Player of the Year. Where does this achievement sit in everything that you have done in the game?
Most accomplished moment. Every tournament is very important to me because my alternate goal is join the Hall of Fame. So I think that motivates I was able to reach the Player of the Year. Yeah, so I'm very happy to one of the big my career. Yeah, it's great. It means a lot. Mm-hmm.
This was a very important year for you because you finally won a major championship. What was different for you at Aronimink? Why do you think you were able to break through that week?
After win the major tournament, it feels a little different because if I didn't win the CME 2019, I couldn't overcome another major tournament pressure. But that tournament very helped me a lot. After win the major tournament, feels a little more it was able to enjoy the golf. So yeah, when I play the golf course, I feel more happiness. Yeah, so yeah, it means a lot and then very good experience to me.
You have set some incredible records for scoring before, and you did that again at the KPMG Women's PGA with the way that you played. Do you just enjoy making so many birdies? I mean, why is your game in a position where you can just go out there and really dominate a golf course?
I had a couple times I play really well, like the KPMG. When I play really well, my thought just nothing, just enjoying, and then stay the moment. I wish I could every tournament play like that, but it's not easy. So, but that's golf. So I just keep doing, yeah, what I can do.
You are a black belt in Taekwondo?
Yes, I am.
How has that helped your golf?
Oh, very, yeah. a lot, because when I impact, we need to turn, that function very help, because I practice a lot. Yeah, that's a training make me a more competitive player. Yeah, and then physically and then mentally, a lot of help. Yeah, Taekwondo.
This year's been a strange year, hasn't it? Very strange.
Yeah.
You had the break in the middle of the season. Talk about this year as a whole and how you were able to play so well all year.
After the couple tournaments, the COVID virus, I had to back to my country. So I never had like 4 months took a rest. And after studying golf, I never had a rest that much. It's feel weird. I had a good time for to think about how to play my future and then my career and then my golf life. I deeply think about it. And then, okay, so LPGA decided to play starting a tournament. And then I was a little scary even, play the tournament because the core never had the experience, or how can I travel like that happen. After I'm gonna decide after a couple tournaments. So yeah, everything okay, and I back to the state and then setting goal again. Okay, I know it's not normal years. I'm gonna keep push myself and then setting goal like 3 times a win in this year. And and I still trying.
Se-Yeon Kim, congratulations on an amazing 2020. You broke through as a major champion and you are the Rolex Player of the Year. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations to Se-Yeon Kim and all of the winners from the 2020 season. And to help us wrap up this season, we are joined once again by the LPGA Commissioner, Mike Whan. And Mike, 2020 was a year and a season that we will never forget, but there were some very special moments. When you reflect on the year, what stands out in your mind?
You know, it's strange. In a 2020 year that was probably one of the most challenging in the LPGA 70-year history, it was probably also one of our most triumphant. You know, if you think about it, we never lost an employee. 7,200 COVID tests later, we only had a handful of positives, not one person hospitalized, staff, player, caddy. Incredible partner relationships like Rolex that kept this season together. What'll stand out most for me would be the people that brought this together, the players, the caddies, the volunteers, the staff that gave us an incredible 20 season. Despite all the things we faced, despite all those things, viewership up 35%. We added more sponsorship in 2020 and a 2021 schedule that's bigger and stronger and more purses than when we announced 2020. I don't know another sport that can say those things. So it's a year as tough as it was. It'll be one of my most proud moments.
Well, Mike, speaking of proud moments, a few weeks ago you announced that you will transition out of your role as LPGA Commissioner. You've been the Commissioner for 11 years, the longest of any Commissioner in the history of the LPGA Tour. When you look back on your time at the Tour, what would you like your legacy to be?
You know, I'll leave legacy up to the media and others to decide what Mike Whan's legacy is, but what I'll remember about my last 11 years is the people, the team we built, the players and the caddies and the way we committed to each other. I mean, golf's an individual sport, but as a tour, we created a team, we created a family. And most importantly, I'll remember that this group, over the last 11 years, are leaving the game better for women in the game than before we got here. Almost 40% of junior golfers are now women. That was under 20% just 11 years ago. So the future of this game has never been more female. That's what I'll remember. I hope that's what others remember about when we had the baton in our hands and ran as fast as we could.
Well, Mike, you're not leaving just yet. You're going to stay in your position as the search for a successor is on. So as we look ahead to 2021, what can fans look forward to?
Hey, if you can't get excited about the LPGA in 2021, I can't help you. Think about the venues we're playing. Olympic, Atlanta Athletic, Carnoustie, Inverness. I haven't even talked about the Olympics yet. These are all happening in one season. At any time in my last 10 years, if I could have named any one of those golf courses, it would have been a great season. Those are all happening in 2021. Some of the biggest venues in golf, now hosting the biggest names on the LPGA Tour, all in one season. 2021 is going to be spectacular.
Well, Mike, throughout your time as the LPGA commissioner, you've always said that the Rolex LPGA Awards celebration has been one of the most special moments of the year. So thank you very much for being with us once again for this year's celebration.
Thank you, Tom. And on behalf of the people you don't see on this side of the camera, all of our staff, our players, our caddies, and our fans from around the world, thank you, Rolex, for always putting women's golf on the absolute highest platform possible. This is the greatest night in women's golf, and it celebrates the greatest performances of the season. So on behalf of all of us, thank you for this incredible experience.
Well, Mike, thank you for being with us as we wrap up this 2020 season. Well, as we come to the end of this 2020 Rolex Awards celebration, we want to take a moment to thank everyone who played such a big part in the 2020 LPGA season. And this show would not be possible without the tremendous support of an incredible partner in Rolex. We also want to thank you, the LPGA fans, for not only watching this awards celebration, but also tuning in throughout the 2020 season. We look ahead to 2021 with great excitement as we watch the LPGA players performing with perpetual excellence on the golf course. From me, Tom Abbott, it's goodbye for now.
Oh, goodbye 2020 and hello 2021.
My name is Danielle Kang and I am the Vare Trophy winner of 2020.
Madeline Sagstrom. I'm a 2020 Rolex first-time winner.
Hi, I'm Reid and I'm a 2020 Rolex first-time winner.
My name is Ewing and I am a 2020 Rolex first-time winner.
My name is Kim. I'm 2020 Rolex Player of the Year.